Hey, what's up everyone? It's Avatar Clash and today we're going over this winning deck list right here. That's right. I won with Guardy once again out of desperation. So why this origin story? Well, I was desperate because I announced in one of my shorts that I will do my best to get enough store credit to get a 151 Charizard by Christmas slash my brother's birthday in December. So that was it. And you're probably wondering, why Guardy? Why not Bolt? Well, I didn't want to face constant mirror matches with Raging Bolt, or I know I wanted to play Dengo. Part of me wants to play Dengo. However, same reason, I didn't want to face mirror matches because it gets boring when you're doing mirror matches. Mirror matches can be very complicated sometimes, but most of the time, not really. So I was trying to give myself the best chance possible while giving myself entertainment value. And that is why I chose Guardy. So Guardy has an advantage against Raging Bolt, in my personal opinion. It does, until you realize they have Baby Bolt. So you have to hope that they press the Baby Bolt, or they don't have enough resources to get everything they want. So yeah, that's why I was like, I gotta do Guardy just for the memes, just for funsies. And yeah, I basically also was like, why did I make myself do this? So I practiced with Ronald McKay's list, and McKay's list is very good. However, for Monkey Dory and for energy is too much. Like, my main problem while testing his list was I couldn't get the psychic energy required to use Psychic Embrace to get damage consistently, and I never got to use the TM Evo in his list. So I kind of had to do some adjustments that will make it more suited towards me. What I mean by that is, if you have noticed, I have 3 Monkey Dory, I have a Badoo, I have the Driftwood, and I have an extra Bravery Charm. I cannot recall whether Riley McKay has a Bravery Charm, but those are the main changes that I did. So why this particular list? Well, Badoo helps with stalling, and I'll be real with you, Badoo was the MVP of the tournament because, again, like, the problem with Guardy, at least for me, is not being able to get the items I need in order to get the psychic energy, or I wasn't able to get like more than one roll set the board at a time. So I was like, you know what? I will stall with Badoo. I don't care how cringe it is, but that's what happened. So first match, the matchups are Raging Bull, Zolwark, and Spine Ups Control. Honestly, the second matchup was the hardest, the Zolwark, because I was like, dark types, and the Guardy always has to be on the bench, so that was gonna be complicated. So let's just go to the first one before I go to the second one. So first up was Raging Bolt. Raging Bolt, I was not too terrified, but at the same time, I have not piloted Guardy IRL. Like, I didn't get what I needed with the Routes and Curlia until the tournament actually started. So I wasn't like practicing at home by sequencing. I wasn't able to practice my sequencing at home. So first turn, my opponent goes first. He gets the Fan Rodom Hoot Hoot Knockdown will set up. However, what makes him different is that he used Ogre Pawn. Like, because he got the Ditto. Like, he used Ogre Pawn like, instead of the Raging Bolt. So part of me thought it was prized, or he did not have enough resources to get that extra push. Like, he didn't have the squawk ability or to discard his hand, or his cards are too valuable to get whatever he needed. So it's like, yeah, that's the main reason why I feel like opponents would rather pick Oak or Pod rather Bolt, like Baby Bolt, because either Baby Bolt is prized or my opponent just didn't have the resources when he prize checked his deck. So he does his turn, and then it's my turn. I get 2 rolls down. Thank goodness I was able to get 2 rolls down. And then the hard part was getting energy in the discard pile and whatnot, and I wasn't able to TM Evo, which was horrible for me. So, and I wasn't even able to get Badu either. Like, I was misplaying, well, maybe not misplaying, but I was trying to get that TM Evo. Like, it was a nightmare. So, I had to just pass and hope he did have a way to knock out one of our ults. He had a way to knock out my ults. So, the thing is, he knocked out my rolls with a prime catcher fan road combo, and I'm like, you know what? This is fine. This is fine. I just need a way to get a Guardy. I just need to get the Guardy and find a way to get the energy into this card pile. Uh, do all that, attach to a Monkey Dory, get a Monkey Dory, and then counter catcher the Ogre Pod. That is my best way to get that match, and then I did. I ended up having the 2 prizers, and then it was essentially like a back and forth. He knocked out my guardian. I'm like, I'm back to square one. This sucks. So what happened was is that I had to boss or counter catcher the Noctowl and just itchy pollen and pray. And then I used Adrena Brain to get rid of the Fan Rotom, like slowly but surely getting rid of it. He even had to get rid of my artisan in order to bench more. Like, he put Latias down for some weird reason. I mean, it didn't work because of the Noctowl, he knows that, but I guess it's for future turns. If in case I made the mistake to gust something else up. Uh, However, that's what happened. Like, I just itchy pollen for a few turns while knocking out the Fan Rotom. And after I knocked out the Fan Rotom, do not make this mistake, people. After I knocked out the Fan Rotom with my Adrenaline damage that I did over time, I put down Artisan, so he had to be forced to take away something. So, again, just Adrenaline, itchy pollen, until he got frustrated and, or not necessarily frustrated, but got an energy until he got an energy and retreated the Noctowl, and it was so bad he had a burst roar. It was that bad. And then I was just like, itchy pollen, but I was super dumb and I needed to Iono because, yeah, I was super dumb. I needed Iono because if I didn't Iono, I would deck myself out. And I had a lot of cards in my hand, and I had not a lot of prizes left, so Iodoing is not harmful for me. It was more harmful for him than me because he was so reliant on Sada's Vitality and the Itchy Pollen, so he couldn't Palpad. And I did not see a Palpad once in the game, so it was like, you know what? I'm gonna win purely because my opponent will deck out. And yeah, after like he gets that last minute knockout with Guardy, we just played it out. After he got that last minute win with Guardy, last minute knockout with Guardy, he was just like, I scoop, I will deck out, you win. So that was my first match. Second match, I would say that's arguably the hardest because it's solo work. And you just have to pray they don't boss or counter catcher you constantly. And my opponent did boss and my opponent did counter catcher constantly, but what saved me initially was getting the Badoo out. Like, I just Badooed the first few turns. Badoo, spam itchy pollen, and then my opponent got annoyed. But again, I don't care. I'm trying to win. So, I was doing my best with Itchy Pollen, and then we both started to develop our boards. He got Toadscrew, which sucks for me, but what doesn't suck for me was the fact that I had Fluttermane. Fluttermane, like, that helped me so much during that game, because Zolwark relies on trade for draw power, and I was just like, hey, I could just weaken Zolwark over time and I could weaken the Toadscrew over time with Fluttermane. Was there a better way to navigate that matchup? Absolutely. However, I couldn't think about anything at the moment because I was just that frustrated with Zoroark. Like there was frustration with both ends. It's that conflict of okay, is it better to it is it better to knock out Toadscruel or the Zoroark? Like I wanted a way to balance both. So what happened was is that with my gust, I even counter captured or bossed up Monkey Dory so they don't Adrenabrain, and they would have to use more resources to get that Adrenabrain damage off of their board and bounce it back to mine. So back and forth, it was frustrating, and then my opponent misplays and gets my Fezzy, up there. So that helped me actually because getting that Monkey Dory damage saved me. Like getting Dory damage, putting damage slowly over time on the board, whether it's the Toadscruel or Monkey Dory. That was fantastic actually. So yeah, my opponent made that misplay. And then he made another misplay by I guess he misplayed by turtling his Zoroark in exchange for Blood Moon Ursaluna. So what happened then was he counter captured by Guardy after turtling his Zoroark, and then he hits my thing. He hits my Guardy with Blood Moon Ursaluna, and all I did was retreat, put down Drifloon, Bravery Charm, hit it, I win. And then the final match was Spite Up's Control. Very weird matchup, I'm not gonna lie. I was not expecting it. No one was expecting it. But what happened in that matchup was everything was slow at first, but again, Fluttermane saves the day. So the main purpose of Fluttermane was to just put it up and retreat, but unfortunately, I didn't have Fluttermane at first. I had Badoo. So I just itchy pollen until my opponent got. I mean, he was annoyed in a funny way. Like he was annoyed, and then so we knocked it out. And then he plays a baby Garganackle, basically what the baby Garganackle, at least his baby Garganackle, just heals 20 damage in every Pokemon checkup. So I'm like, you know what? I will just boss up that Garganackle, will counter catcher it, knock it out with Guardy, and then that's history. And then what happened next was he realized he couldn't knock out my Guardy even if like he had all Spite Ups on board. Like Guardy is just that broken. And that's what I was like, oh dang it, I wish I had Devo because I could have won the game right there and then. Unfortunately, that's not the way it worked. So overall, all I did was because I couldn't really do anything. Like he literally limited me with the Genesect with the Ace Nullifier ability and the Relicanth. He didn't use the Relicanth, shockingly enough. So I used that to my advantage. Put down Screamtail, because I had an extra space on my board. He used Screamtail. I used Screamtail to knock out the Genesect. I didn't use my Bravery Charm yet on purpose because I wanted to knock it out with Drifloon. So essentially, what happened was is that I used the Adrenabrain damage off of Guardy. Like I Adrenabrain damage out of Guardy, put it on Relicanth, and then the Screamtail, I sniped the Genesect with the Ace Nullifier on the bench. So that's 2 prizes for me already, as if I took a 2 prize turn. And then yeah, I did that, and then I did a last minute play because again, my opponent never knocked out my Guardy, so I put up the Drifloon and then just hit the Spite Ops, and then my opponent literally just counter catches Guardy, but it was way too late for him, so I just knocked out the. So I knock it out back, and then bada bing, bada boom, I win the tournament! And your girl ended up getting $20 worth of store credit. I know it's not a lot, but one step closer to getting the Zard for my bro. Hopefully I could achieve it. If not, it's not the end of the world, but at least I tried. So, yeah, that's all I got for you. Please like and subscribe for more tournament reports, or maybe you'll even see some gameplay in the future. Anyways, see ya!